Welcome to Daily Dose Radio, a 5-minute devotional podcast studying the Psalms verse by verse. Broadcast from the ever-beautiful Sharonville, Ohio, on the sunny side of Cincinnati. Hey, welcome back to Daily Dose Radio. This is the finest Bible bistro on the internet. 5 minutes a day, that's all we ask. We're looking at Psalm 115 this week. And before we read or study the psalm, just a couple of housekeeping matters I need to cover. First of all, next week will be the week of Christmas, and I'm going to broadcast on the 21st, 22nd, and 23rd of next week the Christmas story. I'll read it from Matthew and Luke on those 3 days, and then I'm going to take off the 24th and 25th. So there will be no fresh and daily dose radio for you on the 24th and 25th. I'll return with some new material on the 28th, and actually on the 28th through the 1st of January, the new year, we'll have Psalm 116. So we'll be looking at Psalm 116 at that time. This week, however, we're going to treat Psalm 115, but just remember, next week, the 21st through the 23rd, we'll be reading the Christmas story, and then there will be no fresh broadcasts on the 24th and 25th. We're looking at Psalm 115 today, and Psalm 115 is 18 verses long. We're going to treat all the verses this week. This psalm doesn't have any sort of opening. There's no superscript. There's no choir director. David is not mentioned. And there's no hallelujah. Now, it ends with a hallelujah, but it does not begin with a hallelujah. So what we have here is, and it's a very familiar verse, this first verse, "Not unto us, O Lord, not unto us, but unto thy name give glory, for thy mercy and for thy truth's sake. Wherefore should the heathen say, Where is now their God? But our God is in the heavens. He hath done whatsoever he hath pleased." That's verses 1 through 3 of Psalm 115. So the opening statement is, don't glorify us, glorify yourself. Not unto us, but unto thy name give glory. And notice that it's repeated twice. Anytime you see something repeated twice, you should sit up and take notice. And here, the emphasis is, don't glorify us, but glorify your name, because that's what's important. Your mercy and your truth's sake. So mercy and truth here are, and these two just seem to always be linked together, because with the Lord there is mercy and we find truth. Remember what Jesus said. He said, "I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man cometh unto the Father but by me." With the Lord is always truth. He is the beginning of truth. He is the end of truth. All truth finds its meaning in Him. You know, He's addressing the Lord here in verses 1 and 2. Not really a prayer, but more of a faith statement. He's worshiping the Lord by saying to Him, don't glorify us, glorify your name for your mercy and your truth's sake, because that's why you should be glorifying your name. And then there's this conflict that evidently has been happening with the heathen. Someone in the heathen community, or those that aren't worshiping the Lord, are saying, where is your God? He's not done anything to help you. And so the mention there in verse 2 is, so why should the heathen say, where is their God? And then verse 3, he makes this statement, but our God is in the heavens. So that answers the where question. Our God is in the heavens. He hath done whatsoever he hath pleased, because he's God. So we have here a statement of sovereignty and of position. God's in the heavens. That's where he is. So if you're wondering where God is and why he's not moving, well, he's where he's always been. He's in the heavens. And we're going to come back to the heavens in verse 16, because he made them. They're all his. The heaven that we can see and the heaven that we can't see, and that's where the Lord is. And he's going to do what he seems to think is best, because remember, he is the sovereign of the universe. He's the king over all creation. This is the God whom we worship. Now we're going to compare that God, who does whatever he pleases, who's in the heavens, with the heathen's God. Well, I won't spoil that for you. We'll return to that tomorrow in verse 4, so join me for that on Daily Dose Radio. Thanks for listening to Daily Dose Radio. I'm David Smith. The music today has been performed by the Bluegrass Experiment. Thanks again for listening. I'll see you next time on Daily Dose Radio.